Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Appeal public hearing. Today's March 16th, 2022. The Malden Board of Appeal will hold a public hearing Wednesday, March 16th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time at Malden City Hall, 215 Pleasant Street, room 106, in the Herbert L. Jackson Council Chambers, Malden, Mass., on the following named petitions. This meeting may be recorded by Urban Media Arts. We are going tonight to hear the petitioners first, and then after we're done, we're going to do old and new business. So the first petition that we have tonight.
Call the roll.
Oh, we have to call a roll.
Okay. All right, roll call. Kramer?
Yes.
Sullivan? Yes. Sherwin? Here. King?
Yes.
Bilgan? Senator Laka? No. Chu? Here. Thank you.
Okay, so the first petition we're going to hear tonight is petition 22-002 by 165 Central Ave LLC for a variance of general off-street parking requirements, titled 12.20.020, Code of the City of Malden as amended through February 1, 2022, as per Plans RES040320-2021, for the unnumbered lot on Central Avenue. The parcel ID and address are to be determined. Containing 8,240 square feet, formerly part of the property known as and numbered 165 Central Avenue, which is parcel ID 164571132, as shown on the plan endorsed by the Planning Board on October 13th, 2021. Plan of land in Malden, Massachusetts, surveyed for 165 Central Avenue LLC, dated September 27th, 2021, prepared by Everett J. Chandler, PLS, Winter, GEC, LLC, Newburyport, Mass. Permit INT-039345-2021. Yes, let me turn your microphone on. Yep. I need to shut somebody off. All right, can you just state your name and address?
Yes, my name is Arthur Allen. I'm owner-operator of 165 Central Ave LLC, residing right now in North Andover, Mass. Put this up, this is for close. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen of the board, for hearing me tonight. Appreciate your time. So what we did, just to give a little background on this lot, is we took the lot that was oversized to begin with. It was a double lot, and went through the process of subdividing it. Renovated the existing house that was there. That has since been done and sold. And now we're here designing this house. And if anybody knows the street, it has some crazy topography to it. So I think that this design represents really the only option we have as far as off-street parking. So the lot was designed more than meeting the minimum requirements of everything, all the rules, except for the one parking spot per bedroom, which we've designed that, but it doesn't meet the 50% rule on the side setback. So that's what we're asking for relief. It does one of two things. It gives them keeps the parking to one side of the house, and also maintains the most amount of green space considering the topography of the hill, because this is a very steep incline for this hill. So that's what we're asking for relief on the 50% rule, because we do maintain 4 parking spaces there for the 4-bedroom house that was designed.
Okay. Yeah, I drove by there today. It's very
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there was an existing garage where we want to put this driveway. That's since been torn down. That was the only access to store materials for the renovation of the existing house. We actually took the roof off and made it from a bungalow to a colonial house. And now we're doing like a sort of a craftsman colonial, pretty nice design. And but also, if you know, so we built a retaining wall for parking for that place, but because of the road and then the back has a hill, there's really no, we're kind of trapped with options as far as parking.
I just driving by, I noticed one thing that, and maybe you were gonna bring Phil in, but it kind of looks like a big bowl right now, the lot.
Exactly. So what what we plan on doing is, if you see the lower end, so I guess if the house part facing Central Ave, the end closest to the bottom, we plan on filling that front egress in. Because right now, what happens is the road goes up, so the lot is like this, and the road goes up like that, and then you end up with this steep embankment in the front of the house, so we want to fill that in and create green space there. There'll be like a slope along the retaining wall, and that'll be green space, and then the back will be green space with a porch. And then the said leaves, the only place that we can really put that driveway is, which has already got a curb cut to it, to put it on that side.
Okay. Yep, go ahead, Adam.
Why was the property subdivided?
Because it met the minimum requirements to be able to do so. So the property being purchased, when I purchased the property, it was being sold that could be subdivided. So we were looking at it as an investment. So the initial plan was to subdivide it, build a new house there, and renovate the existing house.
Does the existing house, do they have the minimum off-street parking?
They do. They meet that as well.
So the existing home, how many parking spaces?
There's 4 there.
4. So you're asking for a variance. How many would the new house have?
4. The new house would have 4, would have 2 under in a garage and 2 out.
Okay, so the variance is it for green space or is it?
No, the variance is for the parking, paving area.
It's not the minimum, I thought it was the minimum open space in the front yard.
I thought it was for the number of parking spaces.
I thought it was 50%, what I was told, it was 50% of each side. So the parking area couldn't take up more than 50%. If you have it on the side, it couldn't take up more than 50% of that, or 50% of the front, or the back, or the other side. So to maintain the greatest amount of green space, we decided to keep it on one side, take up more of one side. So we're asking for relief for that one side.
So it's kind of both.
Say it
It's
again?
kind of both. So in order to do what they're doing, you're also exceeding the green space, right? To get the variance for the parking spot.
Yeah.
Requires you to exceed the green space requirement too, is that?
Or the
other way around.
Yeah.
It depends on which way you look at
50-50,
it.
I think, that's the way it kind of.
Yeah.
The parking is very confusing to me, and everybody I've talked to hasn't been able to really tell me exactly, and it seemed exactly how it's interpreted, and everybody seems to have a different interpretation. So, they said, go through this process, and bring it before you guys, and make sure that you guys are okay with it, to give me permission to do that.
Okay.
So I hope I have it worded correctly.
No, that makes sense too.
I understand what's,
Yeah.
So it opens up more green space on the other 3 sides, so there'll be nothing there.
Instead
If
of
we're
trying
trying to
to
put
get-
parking on another side, which we can't anyway because of the topography, so this kind of alleviates it all to that one side.
Are you gonna be rebuilding the home at 165, the existing one now?
That's already been done.
Okay.
That's already been renovated, sold.
And so if I could ask him, I know you're not a lawyer, right?
No.
Okay, so that's why I'm asking these questions. Is it financially viable for you to have just redone that existing home, or do you need to do?
wasn't.
What's that?
It wasn't.
Okay, and did that old home have to be repaired? Was it necessary to be rebuilt, the one that was there before?
For what I purchased it at, and then what I needed to put into it.
Let me actually rephrase that. What was the state of, when you bought the property, the existing home that was there, what was the state of it?
It was livable.
Yeah,
But one thing, it only had that parking where that garage was,
Yeah.
which was, I think it's like almost 120 feet away from the existing. So it was like one end of the property was the garage. That was the only parking.
Yeah.
And it was only two-car parking. The house had 3 bedrooms, so it was already illegal. It was already non-conforming.
Okay. And did that have to be rebuilt? Was it in condition where it needed to be upgraded?
It did, yeah. Yeah, it was like 1970s styling.
Was anyone living in it when you bought it?
I was not.
No, I'm saying, was anyone else?
No, they had just, I think the owners had passed away, and it went into an estate, and then there was 5 brothers and sisters, and some of them were living in different parts of the country, so it was quite a process.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Right, but I'm just trying to be
hang
clear,
on.
because I think,
Sorry.
you know,
She had her hand raised and you started talking.
Oh,
Sorry. Go ahead. Oh, okay.
all right, go ahead first.
Well, I was just trying to look up the actual, zoning requirement, because it says off-street parking, so I think it has to do with specific dimensional controls related to the parking space sizes or something. I don't think they count like in garage spaces as off-street parking. I think that Malden considers it just like paved surfaces that's big enough for 4 cars, I guess. So I'm wondering if it has nothing to do with green space, but just the actual space allocated to paving.
The garages don't count as?
They do count.
They do
Yeah.
count.
I think my idea is, I mean, the amount of green space in the front, you can't have less than 50% of that space paved or used for parking.
I have no parking spaces taken up for the front.
Yeah, but you have the driveway,
Oh, the driveway, yeah.
so I mean, I think
No,
that's,
because what's missing, because he can fit 2 in the driveway and 2 in the garage, that's 4
so
spaces.
parking's not the issue. It's-
Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
It's the
Minimum
green
of
space.
50% of the front yards, side yards, and rear yards of single, 2, 3, and 4 family and town and row residential uses shall be devoted to lawn or landscaping area. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt it.
So that's where I'm at. I'm at,
Yeah.
the parking area, if you can see, I'm looking at a tiny little printout, but it says, the driveway takes up 84% of that side yard. So we're looking for 34% relief, is what we're looking for. Do you kind of understand where we're going with it?
Yes.
Not the easiest rule,
Yeah.
you know, so. And then the elevation should kind of show you, on the architectural drawings, kind of exactly what we're building there. So just to give you guys some idea.
Okay, so the garage, the people go in from the side of the house into the garage. I'm trying to think, is it a? Need about 100 and, if I'm right, I mean, it would look like about 100 and, I'd say 200 feet, 200 square feet. Would that be right? Side yard, square feet, 50 is 300 and 345 square feet. So right now you have the drive, I'm trying to paved area. You've got it down to, you've got it basically to the to the lot line?
Just about, I think it's like a foot off.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
enough so that we can't see on this then.
No, I know, it's hard to say.
But it would look, I mean, if my quick math goes, I mean, it looks like we're short about 234 square feet to get the 50%. I mean, supposedly there's 689 square feet, so you need basically 345 square feet open space there.
You say it one more time, John?
It's, if we can use these figures that they've got, the side yard is 689 square feet. He's supposed to have 50% of that is green space. Or pretty flowers.
Right.
So that would mean that we'd have to find 234 square feet, so 5 by 40. I mean, the house is, no, not 5 by 40, yeah, 5 by 45. The house is, how deep is the house?
I believe it is.
67?
28 feet?
The house is 28 by 40.
Yeah, 28 by 40,
28?
yeah.
That'd be 10 feet, that'd probably be too much, but. And so that's 18, so the driveway would be about, at the house is about 18, say 17 feet. Anyway, we can squeeze out a little, I mean, then you don't, you don't have to do this, and we don't have to grant a variance, and everybody goes home happy. If we can make it a little narrower. Could you make that driveway any longer? That won't cure the, side yard, but it would, if you could move the cars back a little further. You're gonna be filling anyway, right?
You mean where the turnaround is?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I don't mind doing that at all. The problem is,
I know.
getting back to what you're saying, making it thinner. Now we're gonna run into an issue getting the cars into the garages.
Okay. And now we're getting into geometry, that's like way beyond me.
But now also, we're also by extending back, it's gonna add more pavement, you
Yep.
know? But I don't mind, either way, I don't mind doing that. But either way, it's gonna be paved,
Yeah,
you know, so
Right.
you kind of,
but it moves it from the side yard to the backyard, and you get plenty in the backyard for green space.
right, but I still won't pass. Cause I still have all that pavement now. You see what I'm saying?
But as long as your side yard is at 50%, then you pass.
I know, but I won't be able to, I wouldn't be able to get that because of the way they have to turn into the driveway. You know what I'm trying to say?
They wouldn't be able to pull into the garage.
I know, that's.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what that, tell it to someone with a small car.
Well, I mean, the electric cars are pretty small now.
So as it is, that's only 18 and a half feet from the side of the house. to
Correct,
the-
it kind of
pretty
meets
much
the minimum
edge of the
requirements for
driveway.
side by side.
So figure, what's a car usually? 12 feet long?
Yeah, 12 to 15 feet, yeah.
So to make it narrower would be,
Yeah, I don't think you can make it narrow.
yeah.
See, she's our architect, she knows about these turning radius.
And I'm just going by what my surveyor told me.
Yeah, that's the surveyor or civil engineer who do this.
Yeah, so,
They don't want to waste pavement either.
no.
I do want to point out across the street, they have.
The whole
their
yard is
front
paved.
yard is pavement.
The one up the street from me does too.
Yeah, and it's probably because of the topography of the site where you're stuck. And you don't want to do, you know, and parking, you don't want to park all the way in the backyard if you don't really have to. It's a really
No.
nice, beautiful backyard that I'm sure people will take advantage of.
It's kind of a compromise or a sacrifice, you know, sacrifice some of the side yard to gain more in the back. I think people would rather have that. But, you know, that's a decision for you guys.
The garage to the back, to park in it.
Yeah, but then you'd have to go,
To the house.
yeah.
Do any other houses on the street meet the green space?
Sorry.
I don't know.
No.
Everybody's kind of trapped there, you know, as far as topography.
Most of them will-
I mean, this house
Most of
will,
them are before the,
I think this,
People
if
move
I,
on
if I
green
built
space.
this the way this is designed, I think this is the only one that would have green space in the front.
I think you're right. From
Oh,
what
no,
I-
no, actually, no, the one down the street from me does. She has a little fence and a green space in the yard, so I'd be the second one.
I'm just looking at the street view. They're either, the houses are either right on the road, or their front yards are completely, almost completely paved. Because of the topography, you can't get the parking anywhere else, really. And you don't wanna park on the street.
No, not there. Very thin there, the road gets really thin there.
And very steep.
Yeah. You guys put up guardrails down the bottom of the street. I think,
Big rubber.
he probably knows.
okay.
Does anybody else have any other questions? Does anybody wanna make a motion on this?
I don't think, is there anyone from the public? Doesn't look like.
Oh, is there, no, I don't hear, I don't see him.
We don't need another open meeting law.
Right.
No, you're not here for it, boy.
We have one from the public in support.
Okay.
Anybody opposed? None opposed. We're gonna close the public, portion of the hearing and, discuss. Or make a motion.
I to discuss a little bit, I mean, I think what he said makes sense, that, you know, unless radically changing the design of the house, making it, you know, a lot smaller, but the lot's large enough to take the house, but it's just, in order for them to do what they can, and they certainly have plenty of green space overall in the back of the house, I mean, just not, divided equally between everywhere, but they certainly have more than most houses in Malden, the green space. So, I make a motion that we grant the variance based on the fact that the lot is not, number one, is not rectangular and it's very strange shape, and, you know, you do have rock at the back edge of it too, so they can't move the house back too far.
All right. Well, you start running into the hill in the back.
Yeah.
I'll second it, and I'll just note one other point too, is you generally can't get a variance for just subdividing it on your own, you can't create a hardship. But I think the point that he made, which I agree with, is it seems that there's really no other use for this property. As is, he couldn't rebuild it and make it viable, which is grounds for a hardship. So I wanted to just put that as a reason, that we're not giving it, I think, just because it's subdividing, but really because this property as is really isn't viable to continue it as is. So I second it.
Oh, sorry. I think you're on.
Okay. A motion to grant petition 22002. Sullivan?
Yes.
Thank you. Sherwin?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Hogan? Kramer?
Yes.
Thank you. On a vote of 5, yes, the petition 22002 is granted.
Thank you guys very much, appreciate it.
Have a good night.
You did a nice job on the other house, from the outside. Oh, actually, the inside too, I saw pictures on MLS, so,
Oh, did you?
yeah.
Yeah, it came out nice. Killer master bedroom is what we ended up doing. We ended up taking the roof off and creating a master bedroom. It's like 800 square feet up there. It's pretty impressive. But a couple from Georgia bought it.
Wow.
So they're working in Boston now, you know, getting them all from up here. From down there, getting them all here. Guys, thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Have a good night. Okay, so the next petition is petition 22-003 by Jessica, is it Bruns? Yes. Okay. For a variance of regulations of signs by district, Title 4.16.090, A, Code of the City of Malden as amended through February 1st, 2022, as per plans SGER 041196-2021 at the property known and is in numbered 95 Main Street, Malden, Mass., also known by city assessors, parcel ID 078354405A. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. Yeah, so my name is Jessica Brooms. The address is 95 Main Street, Malden, and I'm here to, appeal to have a sign. The reason is half of my building is in the commercial area, and half of my building is a residential area. So, is with me. So, unfortunately, my store is the first one on the side of the residential area. So everyone around me, everyone has the signs and, as a commercial. So then I'm here to appeal.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions?
I do this, I would ask this of Nelson, but maybe it's a better question for you. If this is in the residential, how would a beauty store be able to be open here anyway?
So half the building is residential and half is commercial, is that?
It was before me.
It was
Before
already a beauty salon?
It was already a beauty salon. So,
I can say, that building, I think they're talking about doing a second floor as residential.
It's a mixed use, so the first floor is commercial and the second
But the
floor.
second-
But it's in the residential zone, right?
Yes.
Because I looked it up, I don't think you can't have a are you allowed to have this business in the residential zone?
Well,
Because that was what I was confused about.
I think it's gotta be grandfathered in, those,
Pre-existing.
all of those have been
Oh, I see, okay.
businesses. And I know some of this because actually my wife had an antique shop there, which is probably in violation. No,
Yeah.
it's not, it's gone now. It was way back, probably 40 years ago, and then it was all commercial on the first floor. In fact, and the second floor was all commercial. There was a karate studio on the second floor
In this building?
in that building for that whole section pretty much was all karate studio. There was, my wife had an antique shop, there was an upholstery shop, was a florist, I think where you are now was a florist, and there was, I forget what the last one was, but it's always been business. I mean, it's a business block, neighborhood business block. I don't know how it ended up being, well, I don't know, maybe it is half and half, I don't know, but I
Good
mean, it's
question.
actually,
Yeah.
it's historic use has been business.
Yeah.
yeah,
And before you was I think was a
yeah.
Salon.
beauty salon.
So there's always signage there for those commercial spaces, it's not as if there was never signage.
Yes, always, yeah.
Yeah.
Just have to come in every time it changes hands to get a variance to put signage up?
Yeah.
In Malden, yes.
With the new rules.
The sign ordinance is very restrictive in Malden.
I think the way Nelson explained it is once it's down, it's no longer a use. It's no longer a non-conforming use. So if the sign was still up, the prior one, then I think it would be grandfathered in. I may have that wrong, but I think that's how Nelson explained it, which made some sense.
Does anybody have any more questions about the sign?
It looks like you have a pink board behind the signs. Is that because the surface of the building is in different levels? I'm just wondering if you actually need that pink board?
Yeah, I kind of need because the wall, it's not like possible to do it, so they put it like and actually the owner paint as a black, so I think will be a little bit, it's not gonna be very visible, the letter and stuff, so It's gonna be hard to put it on just the letter and, because of, it's not gonna be visible.
So your sign designer looked at the existing building and said,
Yeah,
we can't make it work.
it's gonna be a little bit harder, yeah.
Yeah, because it just seems like you could shrink that a little bit, like the bow could be separate. I'm just wondering if there's a way to minimize it a little bit, because it does seem like.
It's not gonna be super, super big, you know, it's gonna be a small sign. It's just, I just would like to have the name because it doesn't make a lot of sense have a business and doesn't have like the name on the door.
So they won't let you paint any.
No, the owner actually just painted right now, the whole building is black.
Yeah, so they won't let you paint a section for pink.
I don't think so. Because he wants to have something more professional, like everyone's the same. Actually, the barber shop that is like right after me, they had the wall red, and he painted the whole stuff, so he doesn't want anything else, like any other color. Like, I think it's a little bit better, actually, because everyone has their own, like, you know, the same color, and it's a little bit more professional and clean for the street.
Yeah, I would at least like to see it not cover the storefront frame and then the top molding. It would be nice if you just shrank it, it looks like 4 inches, and have it align with parts of the building so that maybe it would be a little bit less invasive. I don't know if that's possible, but it looks like it could.
I can ask them. I don't really understand about signs, you know. I can ask them if it's possible.
I don't think you need to change the lettering, it would just be the shrinking the top of the pink
Uh-huh.
and then
Yep.
aligning it with above the storefront.
Yep. I can ask them. Definitely.
I would agree with that. I think it kind of looks like it's jammed in there where it covers the window frame at the top there. Is that what you're talking about? It just looks a little bit too big for the
It
space.
looks like someone didn't go and measure, you know, how the building changes with all its own. I know it's all painted black, but it would be nice, you know.
Let me
to
actually
not
get
cover-
the picture for me.
Yeah, because even in the elevation, you're covering up the storefront, which is not great. So I would say that if signs aren't allowed, it'd be nice just to clean it up a little bit to make it a little bit less invasive to the building architecture.
I agree. No, I can definitely talk with them and then make it a little bit smaller and just to be in the frame, right? A little bit.
To fit better within the existing datum there. And otherwise, I don't see a problem putting signage for the use that's grandfathered in and typically has signage.
The bow at the top of the sign, you want that there? Like, that's where you want it? Okay. So, does anybody else have any questions on this?
So this, it's not gonna be lit, is that right?
No,
No,
no, definitely not.
okay.
I do have a question. I noticed in looking in the Google Maps.
I can hear you.
Oh, let me make sure it's. I think it. You might be.
If you can hear me, it's fine.
Yeah, I can hear you.
The neighbor in the barber shop, their signage is just in the window pane. Is there a reason why you opted not to go that route instead?
Because I don't like it. I don't think it's pretty and visible. I don't want to have, I just would like to have something a little bit more clear and still having light inside of the studio, because I think if you put like a lot of things on the window, you don't have a light coming inside. So just would like to have something a little more clear, you know? If, it's just, you know. They are actually changing. I don't know if they're gonna put a sign or not, but I see they changing some stuff over there.
The barbershop?
Mm-hmm. Renovating stuff.
All right, does anybody else have any questions or anything they want to say?
I kind of want to suggest that she come back to us with a design that's a little bit more minimal. So I don't know if anyone else would agree with that. There's also the storefront next to you that will maybe get signage, and it would be nice just to make sure that both kind of look good together, like the same placement.
Sure, I'm not sure if they're gonna put a sign or not. I can ask them. Actually, the other store after me, they're actually renovating the whole storefront, actually the windows and stuff. So the owner is actually making some renovations, so I don't know if everyone gonna put a sign or not. But I can definitely send you ask my designer and change a little bit. It's not gonna be a problem, yeah, at all.
Yeah, 'cause I think it would be hard to formulate the wording for a variance, but allow it, you know, without seeing the actual sign and dimensions. I mean, where you start and stop. So what you're gonna have to do is, I think, is tell them that you
It's okay, I can hear you.
I wander about a lot, so they don't like that. They can't hear me. Just so that you know, I mean, if you can have your sign person, see if this is the thing, you want to make it narrower so that the frame of the window shows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you bring it down, how much somewhat on the top, right?
Yeah, so I think you see how this storefront next to you only has like 2 bands of trim?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they're gonna look a little bit different anyway, but it would be
Can I
nice.
go closer to?
Yep,
I'd like to see that too.
so it would be really nice if your signage designer could say like, you know, it's best here, and that would look good with this storefront
Yeah,
here.
the thing is, they are renovating this store as well,
Yeah.
so I think they're gonna change some stuff over here.
Yep.
And because of my letter, I can't do too small because it's gonna shrink. It's the letter, it's just.
Yeah, I don't want you to shrink it, because I think it's
Yeah.
actually a little small.
Exactly.
But what you might have to do is look at doing it from here to here or here to here and not cover the storefront. So I would trust your signage designer.
Just tell them a little X pink border.
Yeah, a little less pink border and not covering up things that should be covered up. So I thought this looked like an architectural detail, so you might start there, but that wouldn't look good here. So I would just ask them.
So the black part is.
Yeah, don't cover up the storefront, and I would say that if you could pull the pink down so it doesn't go past that, that's one way to maybe do it, just to minimize. I think it's gonna look great on black, and I think the design is great, but I just think that it's a lot, and it's covering up some of the architecture in a way that maybe should be done. So I would just have them look at it, and you can bring, I don't know, like just a revised design that's a little bit smaller to next month maybe.
Is there any way that I can send it like before? Because I already opened the store and there's no sign, you know. Everyone is passed by and it's asking about where is it? What is that? We have to be on the phone all the time and explain.
I don't know if maybe that can be done, or we vote based on conditions and then see what the inventory is.
Would it be possible to put a temporary sign in the window while you were working on the revision?
With some more cost, yes.
Yeah.
I'm already
With
broke.
more cost.
Tell these guys you want a banner for the window.
Is this sign already built?
No, yeah, I'm
Okay.
waiting for the confirmation because he told me he'd sent me something over here.
The new layout, the new picture, what it looks like now.
Oh, yeah, I have the picture there, how it looks right now, after,
All this part,
so it looks like this. So they changed the whole stuff, and then right here, they actually painting, over here, they actually painting.
Okay, very nice, but I think it
Yeah.
still would look better to shrink that a little bit. Oh, that's great.
Because we had to change the front of the store, actually, the owner, he changed the door. And we put it here, we have to put a step.
I noticed the step, I was like, that's not
Yeah,
ADA
so
compliant.
this is how it looks right now. So they paint the whole thing, we had to change the door in front. So it's a little bit different than that picture
So,
right now, actually.
so the sign would actually, so that little vestibule goes all the way up to the top.
No, it's just on the black part. Just in the middle, just on the black part.
But I mean, that, where you walk in, right, to the door?
Yep.
And
The
this
sign will-
opening goes all the way up to the woodwork at the top?
No,
So right here, it's open completely,
Yes.
so the sign would actually be hanging over the opening there too. A little bit.
No, not really. No,
No?
it's not gonna be there. No, it's just gonna be on the black part.
So on this picture, it shows the sign, this is what we're looking at. It shows the sign going over the window trim, or over the frame of the window, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually definitely, now that I'm seeing, I'm gonna have to ask, because this design, I'm gonna be honest, was made 5 months ago.
Okay,
I'm waiting for 6 months to open, with like a lot of things and permits and releases and stuff, and anyways. So then, now that everything is open, I was waiting for the hearing to say, okay, you can put a sign, and then definitely he's gonna have to go there again and review the measurements, and then make sure if it's right and ready to go to the production. Because definitely, we kind of, the owner had to change kind of the whole building. And the design is just the way it's gonna be, but definitely the measurements we're gonna have to change.
Yeah, site
Right.
visit,
Definitely. I'm sorry.
it's recorded,
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
It's my first time here.
But yeah, I mean, we have to have the final plan, I mean, if we approve this plan and now you've got a new one, I mean, our approval wouldn't matter anyway, because that is different.
No, definitely, I'm not gonna change the design, just the measurements, I'm
Well,
gonna
I mean,
have to
yeah,
fix.
but that's
with-
what we approve, when we approve it,
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
it's,
The whole
what
thing.
is it, 96 inches by, that's what you gotta build. So that's why she's saying you need to get another plan from the guy that shows
No, definitely.
exactly where it's gonna be on the building and exactly what the
measurements.
dimensions are. And, you know, to get a banner done up is cheap money. I mean, I think the last one we got at our lake association was like $50, I mean, for a good-sized banner.
Can we give her permission to put up a temporary sign?
She can do that. I mean, without, you can do it, the city allows the sign permit, temporary signage. So, I mean,
Well, they're saying no signage, but so maybe she can't even do temporary unless we use it.
no, she can do temporary. They won't catch her.
they won't catch it.
It's just long, you know, for temporary signage, you can do that, I think, in my understanding under the sign. Yeah.
I don't know if you heard that, but once you apply for a sign, you're allowed to have a temporary sign until the actual sign comes in. And I agree with John, Kath, it's been screwing me up all night, but Catherine, that, like, this photo, it would have been helpful because I think that this is photoshopped in, so we don't know if it's actually covering the window frame, and I would think that a sign company, just aesthetically, wouldn't like it either. So I would say, you know, something with measurements to make sure that that's actually the size that it would be. So I think,
If, can I ask a question?
yep,
If the sign goes not where you guys told me, like the black part, the window, that will be approved?
that seems to be the main concern right now, but we would have to see the final sign.
Photoshop sign.
Yeah, or at least like if we had the measurements of the facade of the building and the measurements of the sign, so we can,
You could just update the elevation, as long as your sign person measures
Goes inside?
and shows us where it's hitting, based on all that different molding and the storefront, I think that's fine. You don't have to do a new Photoshopped rendering this for us.
No, they're gonna
Yeah, so
probably
like-
send it to me.
This elevation doesn't show what's going on behind it, so if we could just draw those lines in accurately, we would know that it's gonna be placed.
Inside the,
Yeah.
all right.
And you're set for a banner, right? People can find you now until next month.
not yet, we're not there yet. So, we would, is there anybody else, from the public that would like to speak in favor or, or anybody opposed? If there's, I don't know, is there any further discussion that anybody wants to have, or would somebody like to make a motion?
How does this happen if we're asking her to redesign?
We could just table it for a
Table.
month, if we wanna do that. No,
No,
So the benefit of tabling it versus denying this is if you deny it, you can't come back for 2 years. But if
Oh
you
my God.
table it, you can come back next month with just a different design.
Is there anything else that I need to bring? Just the design with the photo and the measurements?
yeah, the measurements of the front of the building, so we can see exactly where that sign's gonna hit on the building. And the size of the sign, the measurements on the sides, like, you know, this is fine.
But just with the measurements
We
of
need
the
to see
building.
how it fits onto the building. So we'll need measurements for that. Okay,
I guess I would ask if you could file it with the city clerk a week before the hearing, your design.
Okay.
We can help you do, like Kathy can help you get that done.
Okay, thank you.
We need a motion to table and second.
second.
With motion to table,
Thank you.
second by,
John,
all right, motion to table petition 22002, from Logan, second by King. Take the call, Sullivan,
Yes.
Sherwin,
Yes.
King,
yes,
Logan, Kramer.
Yes,
Thank you.
Okay, we'll table it next month, and just give you the date, but, you have my email and I have yours.
Yeah, we can talk later.
I will do that.
Definitely. All right, guys, thank you. See you later.
so you can, just so you know, you can put up a temporary banner. It might be a good idea to have it the exact size. I don't know if that's feasible or not, but, yeah.
A mock-up, and hopefully you can do it really inexpensively for you.
Yep, okay. That sounds great.
April 20th is the next meeting.
April 20.
Yes, and I will confirm everything with you by email.
All right, sounds amazing. Thank you. See you
Thank
guys
you.
later. Have a good night.
You too. You too. Yep, so, the next, order of business is old and new business. First, has everybody had a chance to review the minutes from our November 17th? Is it November 17th and January 19th meetings?
Yeah, we didn't get to the last time,
Okay,
the November one.
Okay. Would anybody like to make a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
I can't make a motion.
Second?
That wasn't a motion, I'm just.
No, that, I'll be doing both at one at a time, one at a time? 11, 17? Okay,
I say both.
both?
Should we do,
It's not.
Huh?
No, separately.
okay.
Okay, so motion for 11, 17 by John King, second by?
Everybody?
All right, okay, so we'll take a roll call. Sullivan?
Yes.
Sharon?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Logan? Yes. Kramer?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, and for the minutes now from, January 19th.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes from January 19th.
Thank you. Second? Thank you. Okay. We'll take a call. Sullivan?
Yes.
Sharon?
Yes.
Yes.
King? Logan? Yes. And Kramer?
Yes.
Thank you. Motions for both minutes for 11/17/21 and 1/19/22 have been approved. Thank you.
Thank you for getting us through that. Next, we have an open meeting law violation complaint against us from Benevolent Botanicals LLC. The legal department has been dealing with it thus far, but I feel we should just make a motion to allow them to handle everything.
What else would we do, though?
I don't know. That's why, but we still have to, I guess, we still have to vote on that.
I don't know how we vote on it. I mean, it's up to the AG or the court to step in at this point. I don't think we have to
Okay.
do anything about it.
Sit through another 4-hour hearing just yet?
They may, I mean, I guess they could kick it back. They're not going to, but I guess they could. It might be a good idea if a solicitor wants to advise us, going forward, if there's any merit to it. Maybe if a solicitor wants to come to a meeting and just give us some, input on that. Because I think there are a couple of questions they raised about the, members of the public coming to speak at the meetings and if we have to. So, I mean, they're legitimate questions, so maybe if a solicitor wants to give us their input into this, but, yeah.
The legal department also asked for an extension because our response was due before the meeting. So we got an extension to the end of the month. And when they responded approving the extension, they also attached several similar cases, several similar complaints and the decisions that were made, which I found very helpful.
Okay.
And I think we can share those.
Is this still? Are they still typing out all this stuff?
Yep.
Okay, because I mean, if this is gonna be an executive session, I mean, that's going public,
It is supposed to.
It is
not an executive session.
No executive session.
I never
Oh,
said.
no, this is not an
It has to
executive
be dealt
session.
with publicly.
Man, that's not true, necessarily, but I mean,
Our city solicitor asked us to do that,
okay, in public, okay, well, but that's, you can't,
to
all
refer to her.
right, so,
Did I miss something? What was?
No, our city solicitor, the question was, should we do this in executive session?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And they said no.
They said no.
All
Our
right.
city solicitor asked us to, open meeting.
Okay, so, do we or do we not need to make a motion, to have the legal department continue to handle this?
I probably would suggest that you make a motion just to cover everything, to refer to legal. It can't hurt, right?
there's something new.
I know that face Adam makes.
Well,
So I'll
I mean,
just
they're
look
our,
this way.
they're our attorney anyway, right? The solicitor represents us anyway, so, I mean.
I mean, that should be, yeah, I mean, that's been automatic, I mean, we've never done that before, not that we get It's been simple. And then over the years. But I mean, it's, I mean, it certainly won't hurt. I'm not sure what the reason for it is. You know, all suits are handled by the city's law. Make a motion? All right. I make a motion to refer the thing to
To legal?
legal.
Counsel, thank you, John. May I have a second? Catherine? Thank you, Catherine. All right, a motion to refer open meeting law violation to our city solicitor, our legal consultant. Sullivan?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Duggan? Yes. Kramer?
Yes.
Thank you.
So it's just the open meeting law violation that's being referred. The other
We're
one
just
is.
addressing it, yeah.
what about the
I
other
believe
one?
now we need a motion to adjourn. Unless there's anything else anybody wants to talk about.
Motion to adjourn at 7:27.
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. All right, Sullivan?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Duggan? Yes. Kramer?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn, we are adjourned at 7:27 PM. Our next meeting is April 20th at 6:30. We'll be held in the chamber. Thank you, everyone.
So this is an issue we've always had, and I thought we were gonna work on just having all the.
Yeah, mine wasn't turning on with everyone else's.
Well, I saw you flashing the whole time when I was in there.
Yeah.
So I took it, it wasn't doing anything.
I don't know.
That's why we're all going to jail.
Anyway, I'll look at it the next time.
Joe.
Anytime someone's not coming through, if someone's not coming through, then it's just not going like, say someone's watching or it's being recorded.
Yeah.
And then you gotta pull this 6 months from now because there's a court case and someone's suing you. Like, they're not gonna have something.
Yeah.
It's just so important that all your voices are recorded, maybe not for the moment, but for archives purposes. Because you sounded like you were saying some good stuff, I thought, so I zoomed in on her, like, talking to you.
Oh, great.
You know what I mean? Like,
Ah.
she was talking to you, the phones were